Hello and welcome to Glitch Cube, we're a gaming podcast, and each week we take a deeper look into the art of video games. As always, I'm Christian.
I'm Chris.
And welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining us once again as we dive further into the world of games. And there's a lot of games to talk about. I feel like this year has just been nonstop, right? Like, it's just been bombarded with games after games, and I feel like we've been, like, especially you've been on a massive, like, tear of games lately. Like, it's kind of nuts seeing the list of how much you've completed, and I will get you your post, don't worry. I just haven't made them yet, but yeah.
Thank you.
It is quite the impressive list for sure, and I feel like I need to catch up. But it seems like every game I end up picking is like 60 plus hours. I'm just kind of stuck with it for a while, even though they are really, really fun, regardless of the fact, right? Of course. So what we're going to do today, we're going to discuss some games that we're currently playing, some media that we're currently watching, and then some of the things that have been just announced, because to date this I'm tired, date this podcast, this episode, some interesting I'm having a stroke. I can't talk right now. There's been some really interesting releases announced and some cool trailers that just got put out there. So we're going to talk about that kind of stuff today. It's going to be a lot of fun. So buckle in, and here we go. So I think last time we talked about it was on the Zelda episode, right? And we've both beaten that game now. Yeah. We're those players.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. We didn't spend 60 hours playing the game without doing a single dungeon, because that just seems kind of ridiculous to me. I'm sorry, people who are doing that. Like my sister Sabrina, come on, do a dungeon, please. It's going to make your life easier. Trust me. The abilities are actually worth it. Go do that. And then keep exploring. It's fine. Please. Just please. But yeah, no, the story was super captivating. And I don't think we need to get into spoilers or anything like that, or get into too much details, because people are still figuring out that game, which I think is amazing that it came out. How many weeks ago did it come out now? 2? 3?
Yeah, it's been 2 now that I'm thinking about it. Damn.
2 weeks, and people still, like, there are still players out there that have not done a single dungeon. Like, that's amazing. Like, that's some commitment there. So you're really going to make that one last. But on the horizon, there's some amazing games coming out there anyway. And you know what? I really do think that people out there playing Zelda, you should really treat yourself to this story. Because I know Breath of the Wild, like, with the story itself, it wasn't that, like, in my opinion, it wasn't that captivating, right? Like, it was good, but it wasn't like anything to go crazy about. It was just a fun game to play. Whereas with Tears of the Kingdom, it's super fun to play. They advanced all that stuff. It's super interesting, the puzzles. And then the story itself is amazing. And Ganon is awesome. Like, that ending, not going to go into detail about it, but oh my God, that was amazing. Like, everything about it was just so cool. And I loved every second of it. But yeah, definitely recommend that one. And I don't know about you, but like, it was just a lot of fun. And one of my favorite things to do at the end there was go around with ancient blades on my arrows and pop the Lionels in the Gloom dungeons. That was pretty fun.
Oh, smart.
Yeah. I was like, I am not dealing with you. Get the hell out of my face. Just watch them vanish from existence. Like, it was pretty great. I actually did it to, I accidentally did it to just a little crappy, like, Hoblin. Because I had fused an ancient blade to my master sword, and you can swing at people, but once you do it once, it disappears from your master sword, right? Just makes sense. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you just be evaporating everything around you. And I was gonna go hit this. I forgot what it was. There was like a big enemy. I was gonna go run up and hit him, and a Hoblin jumps in front of me and takes the hit basically. It wasted the ancient blade. I was like, oh crap! And then I got headbutted by the big dude. I was like, oh shit. So it was pretty funny. But yeah, no, that was a lot of fun. Definitely a really, really amazing experience and amazing time with it. I probably just going to wait for some DLC or something to come out to go back to it. Take a little bit of a break, I think would be a good idea. What do you think?
Yeah, I was a person that didn't really care for Breath of the Wild. I beat it, But
blasphemy. Just kidding. I'm the same way.
yeah, it's like I at first I was one of those people that was like, I like my Zelda linear and all that kind of stuff. But after playing this, I mean, my opinions has changed. And the one thing that was kind of cool about Breath of the Wild was how basically your only quest you get in the beginning is defeat Ganon. And that was it. And it kind of gave you this false guidance of like, you can do anything you want, but you just have to fight Ganon. So it felt very open, right? Very immersive, because everything else just felt second to defeating Ganon.
Mm-hmm.
Tears of the Kingdom is more direct. I feel like maybe they learned from Breath of the Wild, where maybe some people didn't want that full, like, kind of be like a chicken with a head cut off, kind of. But,
right.
I mean, you can still get this way in Tears of the Kingdom, don't get me wrong. But to me, I feel like Tears of the Kingdom was, I don't say what Breath of the Wild should have been, but it should have been that for me. I'll put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Where people were saying Breath of the Wild was a masterpiece and it's one of the best games in recent history and stuff like that. I feel like this game is kind of like that for me. I wouldn't say it's a masterpiece, but it sucked me in a way that I haven't really felt like that in the game, to the point where that was literally all I played. And any free time I had, I would play it. And
yeah, and you're notorious for like jumping around a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. And especially when it comes to the Switch, because I get kind of like over playing on the Switch. But I was just like, I need to play this. Like, I truly love this game. And it's definitely going to be on my top 10 list of the year, because it was able to get me into a game that I initially didn't like. Because you could look at this and be like, it's basically Breath of the Wild with building, which nothing wrong with that. You know, in a lot of ways, it is the same game. The powers, if you kind of strip them down and rearrange them, they're kind of the same, aside from building. And the way the building works in this game, it just feels good. Like, yeah, I played Nuts and Bolts, and I know people will compare it, but this game, it's so nice how it just works. And oddly enough, I didn't really use auto build that much until the end, even though I had it very early on. Like, I went out of my way to make sure I got that early so I can build stuff. Weirdly enough, I never really used it until the end.
I think I only used
when
it
I made my
twice.
little, yeah, once I made that hover bike that everybody else was talking about on social media, I was like, oh, I'll just keep using this. And I mean, it made it cruising depths nice. And that was something I really liked about this game, because it's like 3 world maps to an extent. Granted, there's not a whole lot of islands, but the depths ended up being one of the things I enjoyed the most in the game, because the way this game, and I won't spoil anything, because it's somewhat obvious when you take a look at it, but a lot of the things in the depths mimic the main world.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You know, you see where a sky tower is, probably right underneath on the depths, there's something to look at. Mm-hmm. You know, basically wherever there's a landmark on the overworld, there's something in that same spot in the depths. And that attention to detail, and, you know, and a couple other things, it's fascinating to me, because I wasn't expecting that. And when I had first heard about the depths, I was like, oh, this will be cool, but it'll probably be like it'll be the same.
Yeah, but the fact that it's a whole world, it's a whole world. The world map size is that.
And there's so many little unique things thrown throughout that just work. And I'm like, this is kind of insane. And for the people out there that can play 60 hours without doing a dungeon, I mean, I get it. I probably could have done that, but when I heard you did a dungeon, I was like, oh, I should catch up. But I could see it because this game really does have a lot. And the way the quests feel meaningful, it made me want to keep doing them. Even though I wanted to focus on the main story, I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do this race. Oh, sure, I'll do this. And I really loved it. You know, I thought the dungeons were better in this game. They felt closer to old school style, which I loved. Old school in the sense that it wasn't some stupid divine beast that's like spinning a barrel around and you're moving in like a circular motion. Like
that was my least favorite one, the elephant where everything's just spinning.
Yeah, that one sucked.
That was frustrating.
And to an extent, I do miss like the old Zelda where it's like, oh, you got to get the dungeon keys. Oh, here's the boss key. You know, you do your little puzzle and that's it. But, you know, they said that this is the blueprint for how Zelda's going to be in the future. And honestly, I'm cool with that. You know, even if building doesn't return in the next game, like, I think I've experienced enough of this where even if that was stripped away, I would probably enjoy it. Like if I went back to Breath of the Wild now, I probably would like it a little bit better. But something about the whole Calamity story just wasn't as interesting as this. And Ganon's way cooler in this. And like you said, like the whole like everything about Endgame in it is just so goddamn cool.
Yeah.
That I wasn't expecting that. And the way the Dragon Tears really tell a story, and this game just feels like they learned so much from Breath of the Wild and was able to create something directly from that is fascinating. There's so many things in this game that shouldn't work and they just do. Ascend is such a fascinating power that
I'm surprised
really
it never
does
glitched out for me.
It never did. I never had a problem in that game. I think there was one issue I had with, I think it was some kind of rain texture that was kind of odd. But the first update that came out fixed it. And other than that, I never had an issue, which is fascinating for a game that shouldn't be running on a Switch when you think about it.
Yeah.
Like, as good as it does. But this is a game that I think like people will talk about for a long time. You know, it's being able to build anything, of course, makes a lot of cool stuff. But to me, I feel like this one will last a while. And I am excited for DLC when it comes. And there's a part of me that's also like, well, I'm at a point in that game where if I just want to boot it up, explore a little bit, I can. And that's something that I love. And, you know, dropping over 80 hours in it was worth it. You know, I'm happy I played it. And I'm happy it changed my mind on the Zelda franchise going forward, because I'm open to it now. You know, I'm hoping we explore like the area north of Hyrule next, or I don't know, something different. Like, it's cool.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what it's going to be next, because I mean, you won't have. Oh, then never mind. I don't really want to say anything now because I feel like that would be a spoiler for some people.
There'd be a lot of changes, you know, or it'd be interesting if it would continue from this storyline, or if it would do typical Zelda where it's the same style, but obviously something different. But from my understanding, I think they want to keep these games somewhat connected, like how this was the Breath of the Wild. So
yeah, it would be weird if it was in the same world again, right? Like,
I really don't know what more you could do at this point, unless you introduce like a world map twice the size. But honestly, they could only do that with a new Nintendo console, which I mean, if the rumors are true, you know, it probably would be in 2025 that we'd see a new one.
Or we get a futuristic Zelda. That'd be a trip.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be cool, but at the same time, the people would be pissed.
This time
It'd
he
be
gets a
interesting.
robot arm.
Ooh.
That's
He
it.
just becomes full cyborg.
This is actually Link is RoboCop. He's Murphy. So, it's fine. He just becomes that.
Oh boy.
What I'm curious, I mean, obviously Ganon is a huge fixture in every single Zelda game.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be curious of how they bring him back in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I mean, I kind of feel that way about every Zelda game, though. It's always
it's like
how they're gonna bring him back.
How does it make sense? And most of the time, it's like, remember that one time you beat him, you didn't, right? Like, it's just that, where it's no real explanation to it. But like, it would be kind of cool if it was like, oh God, what was it? The like, Freddy Goes to Hell, right? Like, where basically maybe there's like a Ganon sympathizer that like brings him back somehow through some ritual. Maybe that person becomes
Tingle
like,
brings him back.
Yeah, it's like Tingle is the avatar for Ganon, right? And then maybe like his spirit is able to take over and come back. Like that could be. I could see that being. I feel like that was done. Which one was that done in?
I love that.
Wasn't that like?
I mean,
Twilight Princess wasn't that? Or which one had it where it wasn't Ganon as like a villain for a while? I forgot.
Manjaro's Mask had the mask guy being kind of shady.
The chameleon dude.
Chameleon.
There's a guy with like a chameleon mask, and I think it was in Twilight.
Maybe I never saw the ending of Twilight, so I'm not sure. So for me, I feel like, yeah, that list of games I beat this year, like I feel like I'm kind of back on track. I remember a few years ago I had it where, I beat 40 and then I tried to go beyond that. And then I think last year I kind of dipped back down to like in the 20s. But I mean, this year, quite a few of these are kind of short. So I feel like some kind of leeway, but I'm definitely happy with the games I've beaten this year. Like, I feel like I haven't really been disappointed by any of them. And I've been able to knock off some games off my backlog that I'm very happy about. But there's still so many. And, I'm still thinking about that poll I did about how Silent Hill won. And I'm like, okay, like, when am I going to fit this in? Because right now I'm playing... Oh my God. Well, I'll get into why not? I'll talk about what I'm playing exactly right now.
Real quick on that poll with Silent Hill. If you're listening, I'm pretty sure you are. But for my sister out there, don't worry. We will play Silent Hill. Because I know that you actually did respond to that. So I appreciate that. Thank you, sis. And thank you, everyone that responded to those polls. That was awesome. Appreciate you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to play through them. Because I've only played the first. So I'm going to jump in on 2. And I'm pretty excited about it. I want to get these all done before the remake and stuff. So I'm excited. Yeah. It's just more so like, okay, I need to figure out, am I playing this before Final Fantasy 16 or am I going to start it after? And I'm thinking maybe start it after because I got some bangers that I'm playing through right now that I kind of don't want to interrupt. But for right now, I'll talk about the games I beat after what I'm playing, but currently I am playing through Hypnospace Outlaw. It's a game that I've been wanting to play since it came out, and I have played a little bit of it, but when I initially played it was on Game Pass, and then it got taken off, and now it's back. And I've owned it on the Switch since I think maybe the beginning, but I feel like playing that game on the Switch just feels very weird because it's mimicking like early 2000s, right? So this game, for those of you out there that don't know it, you are a moderator for the Hypno S. Basically, it's this headset you put on when you sleep, and it's like a virtual internet or virtual world. And it basically feels like early aughts internet. And I adore it because that was all I did in the early aughts was just being terminally online. And it's a good throwback. I can see why people love this game. And it it just feels good. It's charming. It was inspired because I played through the new game from the same studio, Slayer X, which I'll get into in a little bit. And which it's tied to it. It's funny because in the game, basically, Zane is this like edgy dude who makes fun of people, teenager and stuff, and you have to moderate him for harassment. And it's a cute little game. It's cool. And so I've been playing that, and I started System Shock, the remake.
Nice.
I've been a little busy in life, so I feel like that game I need to devote actual time to kind of learn it and understand it, just like any other immersive sim. But I am really loving that from the like hour or two that I've played of it. It's amazing, honestly. Like it's good. It's hard, for the most part, but it's good. And the other game that I've been kind of playing on and off is Humanity. That's kind of my go-to game when I don't know what I want to do. It's a little puzzle game where you're a little Shibu, and basically you're guiding people from a door into a like light. So it's basically, I don't want to say like Lemmings, because I feel like people say that, but it doesn't feel like Lemmings. But you're guiding people through obstacles to get to an end goal, and it's cool. It really is a head scratcher at times, but I'm happy with it. And I feel like kind of all three of these games are kind of nice, or a nice break from the games I finished before it. But is there anything you're currently playing right now?
Yeah, I mean, after Zelda, I was trying to figure out, like, what am I going to play? Of course, I really want to play Final Fantasy, but I need to figure out how I'm going to get a PS5. So, Sony, if you're listening, hook us up, please. I appreciate it. But no, I'm just trying to dig through. And while I was looking through my wish list, I happened to come across Astral Chain again. I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot about this game. So I decided to pick that up, and I started playing through it. And it's very interesting. Like, it is a trippy game, and I was not expecting it to go where it does, right? Like, it's kind of comedic at times. It doesn't take itself too seriously, which I do really appreciate. But, like, the combat is really interesting. It's a little... I would say it's a little bit clunky, right? In the way that it gets kind of confusing sometimes. And So you control two characters whenever you're fighting. One of them is auto fighting, and it's called a Legion. So it's like the main like crazy big beast thing that you have with you. And it's actually what's known as a chimera that's from a different dimension, and it's been chained up by the police, and the police are now using it to fight other chimeras that are breaking through from the other dimension, right? Like, that's just kind of like the premise of this. And people can't see chimeras. They're invisible to them unless they've been linked with a Legion themselves. That like kind of opens up their sight so they can actually see these rifts, and that kind of, that's the whole story behind like your police unit, right? So whenever you're fighting, you can go out there and just fight as the main character itself. So you just go out there, you have a gun, you have a sword, and then that sword also has like it has different like versions of itself, but it's basically like a baton stick, like a police baton stick. And then you can call out your Legion, and there's different types of Legions, which is actually really interesting. And you can rapid fire, like change out on the fly which one you want to use, which is really cool. So there's a sword one, a bow one, like a brawler fist guy, and then there's like the beast, and then I think there's like a great sword one as well. But you unlock those as you go through the chapters. And like so you can send out your Legion and like move it near people, and it'll just auto attack, which is really nice, right? And it's super strong, helps out a lot. You set up combos with it, and it's really fun. Now, if you aren't locked onto anything, and let's say you happen to kill an enemy and you start walking towards the other one, sometimes your Legion will stay behind you, and then you just see the chain like off into the distance. And it's just like the easy thing to do is like you can call it back and recall it right in front of you. But like it just gets kind of confusing because like the cameras are all over the place. Like I've fought so many people where they're just kind of off screen, right? So it's like I don't really see what they're doing. I'm getting hit because I'm not really like seeing how they're hitting me. And in order to control the lesion and move it around, if you want to just like move it on the map and like kind of walk it, you have to hold down left trigger and then use the right joystick to move it, which right joystick is your camera as well. So if you're moving your lesion and then you need to really quickly move your camera, you can't because it's already being occupied. So you have to, let go left trigger. So it's a lot of like button juggling to really get everything going. And I feel like every button has like a second use out of it if you hold the button down instead of just tap it. So it's a very interesting game, I'll say that. But it's fun, like it's super energetic. There's a lot, like the art style is really cool. I'm digging the story so far. I think find it really interesting. It definitely keeps you going as far as the games it goes. But it's kind of weird because you'll go from like, because you are a cop, so there's like investigation scenes. So like you get called to a scene where it's like, oh hey, there's been a disappearance in the area. We need to find out exactly what's going on, if this is a chimera, or if it's just a normal like kidnapping or something like that. And I mean, obviously it's a chimera, right? Like, why else are you there? And so you're going to get into a fight, and of course later on. But you spend a good chunk of each chapter like doing that, like collecting information, doing little tiny mini quests that unlock even like small bits of information that you can use at the end whenever you're getting debriefed or like you're giving a debrief of what happened, right? So like the NPCs will ask you questions of like, so what did everyone notice? And then it'll give you the list of every single like key phrase that you found. And then you have to like pick the correct option. And I haven't seen anything like of what happens if you don't pick the correct option. Like they call you out and they go, actually, that's not correct. We were actually looking for the big red door, not this flower that's over there, right? Like, so there's little things like that, but it doesn't seem like you really get penalized. You don't get like as many points because it is on like a score system as well. So it's like very arcadey that way, which is really interesting. But it's good. It's definitely a lot of fun because like you go from that and then it throws you into just nonstop fights and action. And it's very flashy and there's a lot of combos you can do, which make it really, really fun to play through. So like your lesions are on a chain that are attached to you at all times. So one of the things you can do is if there's enemies in front of you, you can actually wrap the enemy up with your chain. But that means that you have to physically move the lesion in a circle around the enemy itself, which means that you can't move because you can move while you're controlling your lesion, but it's kind of weird, right? So like you're moving your character and then you're holding out left trigger to move the right stick, which is moving the lesion's character, and you're trying to I don't know. You try and dodge attacks while you're doing that, and it gets a little wonky sometimes. But if you do that, then they get stunned in place, so they get like a chain wrapped around them, and it usually sets up other combos that you can do and all that stuff. So it is really cool. It's a lot of fun. It's one of those games that I found that it feels really good to just jump in, do a chapter, and hop out, right? Like it's just a quick little like, all right, let me get my like my mental adrenaline rush real fast, and then I'm out, right? So it's pretty cool. And like there's some funny bits in there. Like one of the secret things that you have to find that unlocks like certain costumes and stuff like that is there's a bathroom hidden in almost every single level. So you have to go and find like the toilet, and you actually go and use the toilet. Yeah, it's kind of stupid. It's weird. Super weird. And then they also have like a toilet fairy in one of them.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but you don't see it. It's just a closed door and it's just talking to you. And the text says it's a toilet fairy, but could just be a person because they asked for toilet paper, right? So, and you have the choice to not give them toilet paper if you don't want to. Can't spare a single square, going back to that. But it is a really weird game, but it makes sense. I mean, it's not the creators of Nier, it's the artist of Nier. This is his breakout debut in directing an actual game and leading the game production that way instead of just leading the game art side of it. So there is connections to Nier that way, but it's not exactly the same. So it's just kind of like really trippy. I'm curious to see where it's going to go. because it's definitely giving some. You're starting to see like, oh, the person that you've been working with isn't exactly who they seem to be. Oh, your dad wasn't actually your dad, right? Like, so they're like dropping little bits of information and lore here and there that is making the story rather interesting for a game that doesn't really need story. It doesn't feel like that's a big focus of it, like because it's very much. It does feel like I'm playing at an arcade, 100%. So, but it's fun. It's a good one to like kind of kill the time right now in between games for sure.
Yeah, I've always been interested in that game, and then I always forget it exists. I don't know why. I like Platinum games, and I know they did it. I don't know. I feel like there's so many games that are locked on the Switch that I want to play, but then I forget about them like pretty soon after.
I'm very surprised that this is a Switch exclusive because it does not feel like a Switch game. It really doesn't, but it is very, it's just different. It's a very different kind of game that I haven't really played anything like it. I do like the fact that it's like fully customizable, which is really interesting, especially for a game like this that seems to have so much like baked in. There's a lot of cutscenes and it's voice acted, which is really cool. But you can have full customization of your skin or your skins, right? So you can do your hair, you can do your eyes, the clothes that you're wearing. You can change the colors of your clothes, and then you can also change the colors of your Legion as well. So as you're playing and you do challenges in the game, you actually unlock new skins for everything, which is actually pretty cool. And I don't know, it's very different. So like one of the first color combinations I unlocked for the Legions, and I was feeling these vibes from the beginning, was it looks just like Evangelion, like the purple and green.
Oh wow!
And it's 100% that color grade, that color scheme. So I put that on every fucking Legion. I was like, hell yeah, I want this. It was really cool. So it was, yeah, it's a fun little thing to just add in there and just play through. I think it's a good like time killer, honestly, but I'm enjoying it. I'll probably play through it. I think what am I on? I'm on chapter 7 of 12. So a little bit more than halfway, and it's not too challenging. And there actually is a autoplay feature. So there's an auto battle on this, which I thought was really weird. And then the biggest like not concern, like surprise was there's a co-op feature to Astral Chain. So I'm very curious to see how that plays out. But you each get a Joy-Con and someone controls the Legion while you control your character still. But I think it does the auto battle when you do co-op. So you can you put your people in the right place and they fight. And maybe you can do combos. I don't really know how that works. It's very, very trippy. But I'd be curious to see that in action, what the co-op actually looks like. I feel like that would be probably almost the perfect way to experience it, because it can get a little weird moving your Legion and your character around on the map. It gets a little annoying sometimes.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, still fun. Yeah, still a lot of fun.
Huh.
Oh, and quickly, I want to give a shout out to this game because they have it on iOS now, and I think it's one of the most interesting board games out there. It's called Unmatched. So Unmatched now has a digital version of their game, and it's on iOS. And we're not sponsored by them, but they can if they want to. If you're listening, it's fun. But Unmatched is a really, really cool concept for a game itself, and I picked it up on iOS, and it plays great. I really am enjoying playing through that one right now, but especially since it's it's kind of hard to find people to play with sometimes, or you just don't want to hang out with people. Because I own every single Unmatched board game. And all their expansions for all their stuff. Like one of the expansions is Bruce Lee, which is awesome. It's dope. So for people who don't know what Unmatched is, it's a fighting game. It's a fighting board game, which you get to pick heroes through time, through media, and actually play as them and fight other heroes, right? So like you can have King Arthur versus Robin Hood, or the Invisible Man, or Bruce Lee, or Alice from Alice in Wonderland. And like everyone has either like side characters or minions that help them out as well. Like Medusa has 3, I think they call it like Gorgons, right? That are with her. Robin Hood has his merry men. King Arthur has Merlin. Alice has the Jabberwocky that's on the map. And Alice looks like the artwork for it is freaking phenomenal. Like it is so good. I absolutely love it. But I think Bruce Lee's by himself. Yeah, because he doesn't need anybody. But he gets extra perks like movement bonuses and stuff like that. But it is a really cool game. If that sounds interesting, you guys check it out. You can play it on iOS right now. It's fantastic. Or just go get the board game because the artwork for it is so well done. And every single one comes with like miniatures of it. And it looks really, really good. Like they put a lot of work into this game, you can tell. And I love it. So when I saw the iOS version, I was like, oh, hell yeah, I'm getting that. So, yeah.
Huh. So real quick, I'll go over some of the games I've beaten since the last update, which hasn't been that many, just because Zelda took up so much time. But I feel like it's a nice little mix. Case of the Golden Idol was a lot of fun. I think in our last update, I had started it, but didn't finish it. And I finally finished it. And it's a great game. It's definitely, I can see the similarities to Return of the Obra Dinn. And I like this game a lot. And I can see why a lot of people put it up in a really high place. It's kind of a bummer that it came out at the end of the year last year and didn't really get any kind of coverage, I feel like. Like, I heard some people talk about it, but man, like, it's very, like, buried amongst a bunch of other games that came out in December. But it's good. It's a mystery game. Basically, it's a point and click where you kind of are piecing together a murder. And there's 4 chapters, and there's different scenes in each chapter. And basically, you are clicking on people, clicking on objects, and there's words that are underlined, and you click on that and add it to your word bank. And then you go to a different screen, and basically you're putting the pieces together for this murder mystery. And it was fun. There were times where I was kind of like lost because there was just a lot of information and it kind of overwhelmed me. But overall, I really liked it. I feel like it is kind of short. Like, I feel like I beat it in 5 hours, maybe around that, which, it's not bad, but I was kind of hoping to be a little bit longer, but I enjoyed it. I love the art style. It has that old kind of Commodore 64 Amiga look to it, which you don't really see too often. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. It was a nice break because I think I played that like right after beating Tears of the Kingdom, because I was like, oh, I'm near the end. Let's finish this. And it was a good little break into the normality of other games. But between that and going back to the Hypnospace Slayers X, it's a kind of like, a boomer shooter looking like the original Doom. Based off of that character, it has very early aughts humor and, being edgy, right? Like, you're talking about turds and, like, oh, your dad sucks. Or, like, basically, it's like, I don't say cringy humor, but, it's
a little shithead humor.
Yeah, perfect example right there. And I thought it was really enjoyable, too. Like, I was seeing some people kind of, like, give it mixed thoughts, where they thought maybe the humor didn't land, or the game didn't feel complete. But I think that's the point of it, because he's supposedly been working on this game for a long time, and it's like a lost relic almost. So it's like, of course it doesn't feel complete to an extent, right? It feels
Right.
very it's basically like parodying the Blood engine, which is, you know, one of the big four for those kind of shooters. And it was fun. It was short, sweet, and I liked it, and it made me want to play Hypnospace Outlaw, which I'm thankful it did, because this game is awesome.
Nice.
But other than that, co-op games. These are the last two before I get into maybe like the upcoming games that we saw today. But Dead Island 2 was really cool. Finally finished that.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's fun.
I really enjoyed it. I initially did not want any part of this game because I liked the first game when it came out. And I was like, okay, this is going to be the same damn thing 10 years later.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, you know, jumped into it with a buddy, and it was great. It is the perfect game to kind of just turn your head off and just, you know, chat, talk about life, and just destroy zombies. Like, it's crazy how in-depth that game is, where if you're beating on a limb, that limb flies off. Or, you know, if they're dead on the ground, like, you just keep hitting it, and it's like the body just falls apart. Like, it's kind of interesting how in-depth it gets. Like, almost not fully realistic, but it's more realistic than a lot of other games. But I loved it. We didn't finish a lot of the side quests, which we're kind of going back to just to play it, but we beat the main story, and, you know, it's Dead Island 2. You're not there to experience a grand story in a zombie setting.
Right.
But if you want a good game to play with some friends, it's fun. I really enjoy it. You know, I thought I got my money's worth, but definitely if it goes on sale, worth it. Easy. And then the other game I played was on the PlayStation service, but I think it's getting off of it this week, but it's called Kiwi. And I played this with my wife, so it's a little different. It's interesting. You're playing little Kiwis in a mail office or a mail center in like New Zealand or whatever. And it's kind of a puzzler, kind of a party game to an extent, but they have different games, right? There's a mini game section, but there's also just like where you're running the mail center. So there's one stage where you have to butt stomp on a typewriter to write out a message. And, you know, at first it's easy, but as you get in later stages, there's things messing with it, right? Like, there's bugs that'll pull off one of the keycaps for the typewriter, or there's vines that'll like capture you and you have to break free. Or there's another one where, you know, one of you has to push packages while the other one is envelopes, and it's like weird what you have to do. And, you know, this game, like, I remember always seeing this game like kind of at a bargain bin level, because it always went really cheap, and I was like, oh, this must not be that good. Like, if it's that cheap that fast, like,
Yeah, that's always a problem, right?
It was actually fun. There were times that I felt like I got irritated while she didn't, but it was a cute little game that wasn't too long. And yeah, at times it did get frustrating, but it was cool. You know, I realized, like, I've been wanting to play more games with my partner, and she doesn't really want to play like twin stick shooters or anything like that. So a lot of the ones that I've been kind of wanting to go to are off the list. But a lot of these puzzle games and platformers, like, it works. You know, I feel like the last time I played something was like Mario 3D World, so it's been a while.
Oh wow!
But
that's an old one.
we played it last year, but
Okay.
still, yeah. So I'm like, okay, like, I want to play more games like this. So I mean, I think next we're gonna do Escape Academy, because I mean, another puzzler would be kind of fun. But
That one looks awesome. I watched actual like a full playthrough of Escape Academy, and that was really cool.
yeah, I like the idea behind it. And I think that's something that I'm just like hungry for. Like I miss Portal 2's like co-op, how amazing it felt. Like I feel like to this day, like that game still has such a perfect co-op story and experience that, to mimic that on that level, I feel like It Takes Two kind of came close to that for me.
Mm-hmm.
But the puzzle solving in Portal is just like, it felt so good with another person. And I want that in a game because it's, I don't know, for me, playing a puzzle game with another person just makes it fun because you're both working on something, trying to come to a conclusion, and at times almost feels competitive to try and get that answer over them. But yeah, so I'm always looking out for puzzle games. If people have any recommendations for a co-op puzzle game, I'm open for it because it's a genre that I love, but I don't play all of them. So,
is there like a competitive co-op puzzle game? Like that would be kind of fun.
I feel like there is.
It'd be fun if it was like an escape room and like whoever solves it gets more points. And at the end, it's like, oh, you're an idiot. Right? Like I did this all by myself. I pulled my weight. You got to pull yours, right? Like it would cause like funny arguments, I think, right? Like I think that would be really interesting, actually.
That would be pretty fun.
Like whoever does it actually gets a score, so it's not like a group score. I like that. Competitive puzzling. Make that an esport.
Hell yeah.
I'd eat that up. I'd do that all day. That'd be great.
I know. I'm like, oh, finally an esport I'd be like actually good at.
yeah. No sweaty gamer here. No like crazy shooter where you have to only play that game for 80 hours to get okay at it.
Right. Just to get destroyed by like some 8-year-old.
It's the worst. Ugh. It's so frustrating. I think that happens every single time I put on a shooter game.
Yeah, I feel like recently when I've been playing some shooters, I've been having some luck, but yeah, there's definitely those days where it's just like, I'm not meant to play this.
Yeah,
at that moment. But do you have any other games, or you just want to kind of jump into like some of these future ones that got announced today?
Let's go through it real quick. Yeah, I think because we're creeping up on an hour already. So why don't we hop on and start talking about some stuff that's gonna be coming out soon that we're excited about? So,
yeah. So at the time of this recording, there's been really like 3 showcases. I guess there was the Guerrilla Collective, Summer Game Fest, and then Day of the Dev, and Devolver Direct, which I actually totally forgot to look at that list because there was one game on there that looked really cool.
And Devolver always has something very interesting.
Yeah, this one was different. I felt like it was a lot shorter than their usual one. And oddly enough, I can't find anything about the one today. But there's already so many that were in the other showcases. But so for me, some that stuck out, and some of these are demos that I at least have downloaded 2 of them. One of them I actually liked. The other one I had to uninstall it because for some reason to me it just didn't click, and I was like, "Ooh, this has been a while since I found a game that I just did not like." But I'll get to that in a little bit. Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I kind of knew it, but once I started playing, I'm like, "Oh, this isn't for me." But for the game I did like, Tiny Sticker Tail.
That looks adorable. Yeah.
It's so cute, and I like it because, everything's basically a sticker. So you have a little sticker book that you carry with you, and you can take objects like a sticker, put in your book, go to a different map. And, you're doing small little puzzles, and there's a cute little story. And I really liked it. I'm drawing a blank on what to compare it to because I feel like this has kind of been done before, but I can't think of the game. But this game's cozy. I know that's a term people are probably getting sick of with indie titles because it's, I think,
everything is cozy.
Yeah, it's like if it's not a roguelike, if it's not skating or skateboarding, it's cozy, right? I feel like those are the three things we always see in indie titles the past year or two. And according to these showcases, we're still seeing them. But this game, it's cool. I adore these kind of little relaxing games. And, you know, I love stickers. You know, maybe not Sticker Star Paper Mario, but this one was cool. I enjoyed the little demo. It's short and sweet. It's on Steam. And, yeah, I think this would be a good game if my kid was older. I would let her play it because I think she would dig it. Yeah. But, so that was cool. There's another demo I downloaded, but I haven't played it, called Lexman, I think. But it's a typing RPG. So your battles consist of you typing, which I think
that's fantastic. I was just talking about it with some kids in my classes, actually. That's how I learned how to type, was through games.
Really?
Like, yeah.
Mavis Bacon, right?
I did the Mario typing game. I loved it. It's amazing.
Oh, God, I forgot about that one.
Yeah, we're old, remember? So
I just remember the stupid Mavis Bacon. But yeah, I do remember seeing the Mario. I don't think I ever got the Mario one, though, sadly.
It was really good. It was really fun. And, you know, I think it is just a clever way of bringing typing into it and everything like that. So,
yeah, for me, I in theory love typing games, but to an extent, I'm like, I'm maybe not the best typer. I don't know. I've never been really good at home row. I used to be, and then I just kind of got in the bad habit of like free typing. I'm not a pecker. I don't use just my index finger. Like, I use all my fingers, but I'm like, if someone looked at me the way I type, they'd probably freak out because my fingers are on all different keys, but it's like I've memorized where they all are.
Right.
It's kind of weird. I'm a weird person. But this one looks cool. I respect typing games. Some other ones that kind of stick out from the Guerrilla Collective one was Anton Blast, which is basically another game, I think, from the Pizza Tower people that look really cool. One that also really stuck out to me, and this is a style of game that I'm surprised we haven't seen earlier. Especially with everything that's out there and how many indie titles have this look. But Questmaster, if I recall, it's from Apogee, which, you know, they old school, right? Or the publisher is Apogee. But imagine, have you ever wanted to create your old Link to the Past Zelda, like maps?
Every day.
Basically, this is that game. It looks phenomenal. And honestly, like, growing up, hell yeah. I remember when I was first messing around with RPG Maker, like, that's what I wanted. I wanted to make a top-down Link to the Past clone. Because I had so many ideas that I thought would be way better than Link to the Past. But obviously I never did it. And this game kind of, I don't know. When I saw it, I was like, ooh, this would be fun to do. Like, at least it would, I feel like, kind of help me learn how to make these kind of games. But, you know, it's just like Mario Maker. Like, instead of making, like, platforming stages, you're just making, like, top-down game. But I respect that. And I think it's cool that, you know, this is doing something different than we haven't seen. And I don't know. I think for that reason, this will get big. People are crazy with Mario Maker stages, and I can't imagine, like, this is going to be insane with what people build.
I think this would be really fun and like a class setting of how to do level design and how to balance levels.
That would be kind of fun. Like, take it in a more realistic approach.
Yeah. I think that would be really cool. You know what I'm going to do? And I'm putting it out there into the whole world and ethos right now. I'm hopefully I'll be talking about this again later. I'm going to reach out to Apogee and see what happens. Because maybe we can make this a class. That'd be super cool.
Yeah, I'm looking at the developer, and they only had one other game called Victory Heat Rally, which is a racing game. So this is kind of a big...
it's a big departure
it's announced too, so it hasn't been released either. But yeah, that's a pretty big difference in the style of games.
Yeah.
But other than that, from the Guerrilla, there were a few other games, but Sacrifice stood out to me, which is an RPG that I've been following for, I feel like, a few years now. But it's got that, like, 2D sprite on a 3D world, but it's not in that, like, fisheye lens, like, Octopath. It actually looks, in my opinion, looks a little bit better. It looks kind of more like that old school, like, way that those games did on, like, the PlayStation 1, where it was that old sprite on a 3D, and it looks good. Like, I'm excited that they're finally finishing that game up, because I feel like it's been a while. But other than that, Summer Game Fest, I know that we kind of like to focus a lot on indie titles, but some of the big games that stood out to me, Alan Wake 2 looks amazing and kind of makes me want to play the first game, which I have tried, but it was a long time ago, so maybe my opinions have changed, but the game looks cool. I've been in a very, like, horror game mood recently, so more of that just makes me happy. Of course, the new Like a Dragon looks good. I love the Yakuza games.
It looks awesome.
And this one looks even more quirky, and it's a continuation of the story, so I'm excited about that. There's this game called Sandland. That's by, I think I'm saying it right, Akira Toriyama, the Dragon Ball Z guy, and it looks just like it. I feel like, I know he did the style on Dragon Quest XI, but this game looks much more like his art. Like, it literally looks like
the
Dragon
artist
Ball.
For Dragon Quest since the beginning.
Yeah, it was more so like the 3D, like,
oh, right,
like the modeling. Whereas this game looks exactly like you would see, like, those desert fights in Dragon Ball Z.
Right. Yeah.
But this game looks cool. It looks interesting. I'm curious to see more about it, because I feel like the last game he did art for was that One Piece Odyssey game, which I'm not into One Piece. I'm sorry for the people out there that like that, but one, it's too long. Two, I don't know. Like, I think like
it's just too late to get into it.
It's too late. Just like how Naruto is too late for me, or Naruto, whatever. Like, I don't know. I already feel like I'm late with Hunter x Hunter, but at least I can kind of get into that more. Whereas I feel like
you can at least catch up in, because it's done.
Yeah, Naruto, like,
yeah,
I don't know. I feel like the whole shonen stuff is already kind of like, I feel like I'm kind of beyond that. Like, I was kind of digging My Hero, but then I kind of got over it. I was like, oh, there's other ones that I'm finding interesting. But
I still habitually watch all of it, even though I'm not a big fan of Boruto. I'm still watching it. And Demon Slayer and everything else that comes out.
I was doing Demon Slayer.
It's kind of ridiculous.
Too. And I think there's no Attack on Titan coming.
That one's coming too. Yeah, but the new Demon Slayer is amazing. So good. But I mean, Demon Slayer's always been great.
Yeah. If anybody has any recommendations for anime, you can hit us up on our socials.
We have a whole Discord channel set up for that. Yep.
Discord, yes, please name it. I haven't seen a new anime since Chainsaw Man finished, so it's been a few months.
Chainsaw Man was so rad.
It was cool. I liked it. I've been kind of catching up with very old anime from, like, the early 90s, but I definitely
if you
want
an early 90s anime real quick, it's going to be really good for you. Guyver. And if anyone out there doesn't know what Guyver is, you need to watch it. I was just talking about it, not like yesterday at work. Someone was asking about, like, an anime recommendation, but like a good classic. I was like, you have to watch Guyver. I watched that when I was a kid, and looking back, I shouldn't have, but it's fantastic.
Like Angel City kind of stuff. The bio boosted armor.
Yeah, that's it. Guyver bio booster armor.
Oh my God.
It's good. It's freaking brutal though. It is bloody. It is messy. But
Okay.
it's awesome.
I'm down to see that. The ones I've been watching, they're like borderline perverted. It's interesting
No,
how like
this one
late
is like
80s anime was very perverted.
It's very sexist and very creepy vibes that they gave off then. But no, like this is very much like Fist of the North Star, or like exploding blood and just crazy fight scenes and just awesome stuff. So yeah,
I like that. But getting back into games, since we're almost done, Final Fantasy VII.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, finally, they're showing some more of this, and it's interesting because I feel like the last trailer they showed, it was like, I think it was Niflheim that they were showing, or Nifl Town, the one where Cloud came from.
Yeah.
So this one was interesting because it basically showed the first island still, right? When they were leaving Midgar and they're going,
and it showed Cosmo Canyon.
Yeah, so I'm like, this next part really is going to have a good chunk of it. Because I thought they said they were going to split this into 3 parts. So I'm thinking, is the third part really going to be like basically the final battle? Like, they might as well just finish the game in this part.
That's what it feels like from the trailer. Because after Cosmo, I don't really feel like there's a lot left after that.
I mean, this is a different telling of the game. So it's like,
true.
There is that fan theory that, 7 was a dream.
Mm.
And that this game is actually the reality of the events that are happening, which is kind of weird, but it made me find the story more interesting looking at it that way, so I'm cool with that.
Right.
There were parts of this remake that I was kind of like, this feels like Kingdom Hearts, and I don't like that. But after that idea, I was like, oh, I can kind of get behind that. But
I'm a bad Final Fantasy fan. I haven't beaten the first part of Final Fantasy VII Remake yet.
You should. It doesn't.
I need to get back into it. Yeah.
I feel like it wasn't that long. I enjoyed it for what it was worth. And I like the Yuffie DLC. That one was actually pretty damn cool.
She's a great character. She's fun.
But aside from that, I mean, this wasn't in the Summerfest, but it's been rumored. I know there was a fan created project for it, but Final Fantasy IX is supposedly getting a remake. I think there was some kind of slight confirmation online, I think on Gametsu, however you say it, about it. So there's the possibility that we might see.
That would be so amazing.
They said that. So actually, yeah, it is confirmed. They said that they want to keep the battle system the same.
Yeah, please.
Thank God. Yeah. They're going to make some changes to make it a little more modern, but they want to keep it the same style, same charm. So I'm excited. 9, it holds a special place in my heart because that was around the time that I was really starting to understand the story more. I feel like when I played 7 and 8, I played them, but I didn't really understand them because I was still pretty young. But with 9, I got it.
Right.
It also seemed more child-friendly, so I was able to understand it better. But I'm really excited about that. And they also are rumored to be remaking Final Fantasy Tactics, which would be awesome too. But
with the updates and how they've changed the whole 2D art style, that would be so cool to have Tactics.
Yeah, it'd probably be like the Tactics Ogre Reborn, if anything.
Yeah, I could see that.
But real quick, last few ones. Viewfinder looks cool. It's a puzzle game where you do you're on this world, you find a photo and you hold the photo up and you merge it into the world to kind of progress the puzzles.
So tricky.
I think
it's such an interesting idea.
Yeah, it sounds weird to talk about, but if you look it up, it looks pretty damn cool. Haunty, I love the art style. I think this
Adorable.
is a game that, I love when games look different. And between that and this one's kind of weird, but Mars First Logistics, which is another it reminded me a lot of the crafting in Tears of the Kingdom, where you're putting pieces together, but it has that Mobius art style, which I love. That cell shaded comic book style, but it's like the more defined cell shading.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like this showcase so far from everything I've seen, I feel like I haven't been like fully blown away yet. I know when this episode comes out, the Xbox showcase will have happened, so I'm hoping that one will be good. I know supposedly Fabled is rumored to be there, and the Starfield showcase will have happened. So I'll obviously have my responses posted when that happens. But this year has been a really good year for games. I'm excited. All the games I've played this year, for the most part, have been great. I'm happy to have knocked out some of the big ones that I've been wanting to. And, I see people post saying like, oh, there's like no good games to play right now. Or, gaming is just not good anymore. Like it's all live service, all this. But it's like, if you get out of the AAA or even the AA scene, there's a lot of good games out there. There's so much to play. I mean, I know a lot of people out there like me have battles with their backlog and never really catch up with it. But this year, it's like you could easily add so many new titles to that list. And that's kind of what I've been doing. Like, I'm constantly trying to play something new, but I'm like, oh, I need to work through these 2 games first. And it's stressful because I want to play all these games, but at the same time, it feels good knowing that I have a really good game to play after this one. And I'm excited for this year. I mean, the year's halfway over, but I mean, we've had so many good games, and there's a lot of bigger games coming. And it's cool. Every year I'm feeling more and more connected to games, and I feel like this year has been kind of that like breakthrough where I'm like, I just want to see more. And as time goes on, we're starting to see more experimentations with games that I feel like we haven't seen since the late 90s, where people were not afraid to break out of the box, break out of the mold. And I feel like we're starting to see that, at least in the indie scene, more so than usual. And I think some of the AAA studios are starting to see the risks that indie studios are taking and, incorporating some of those things in their games. And I'm excited to see the future of games. And hell, I'm just excited to see the rest of this year.
It's going to be a good one. It already is. All right. Well, that's going to do it for us this week. Thank you guys so much for listening in. And like we hinted at earlier, check us out on socials. Be there, just see what we're posting. We put a lot of questions out there for the community to answer. And then we also have our Discord channel that you can hop in, chat, recommend some good animes for us, or just start discussing some of the games that we're talking about on there freely. So yeah, we'll see you guys there. But, and we will catch you guys next week as we dive further into the world of games. But until then, bye for now.